What the fuck is up, everybody? It is another episode of UndergroundAholics. I'm your host, Noise13, along with our co-host, Aaron, over to the opposite side. I always point to the wrong fucking side. What up, Aaron?
What's good, man? What's good?
Hype as fuck for today, buddy. You know, we got a veteran of the musical craft of 30 years. We got a dude who's, worked with a bunch of motherfuckers from Twisted, ICP, Eminem, fucking all over the fucking place. He's been around for a long time. Chances are, if you are a fan of the underground music scene, you've listened to some of his music. I mean, he's literally worked on everything from Freak Show to songs of Sam Hain recently, you know what I'm saying? And everything in between. Worked with Blaze, ABK, Dark Lotus. Motherfucker's been all over the place. We're bringing to you live from the UndergroundAholics, Fritz the motherfucking Cat. What up, Fritz?
Hey, dude, what's up, man?
Dude, I just hyped you
Hi.
and you come in all soft spoken and shit. What the fuck?
Well, yeah. Well,
Wake
yeah.
the
What do you
fuck
want
up.
me to just come in thugging and mashing?
Yeah, man. Flip something over, man.
What's up?
What up, buddy? How
It's
you
a
doing?
treat to be here.
Yeah, man. I mean, you're like I said, you've made the soundtrack to our lives. I think one of the first things you probably would have dipped your fingers into with this scene would have been like Twisted's Freak Show. Is that fair to say?
Production wise, yeah. Yeah.
But
I,
doing
I
recordings for people
I
before
think
that,
I
no.
think I think I actually have like a credit on. I think Jekyll Brothers though. I think I
Oh,
might because they used to come in to work on show tapes because Mike Clark doesn't really do show tapes. So
oh,
I get it.
okay.
So I knew the clowns first. And I
Damn.
also knew when they were House of Crazies because they'd come to that studio and they'd come in. So I kind of knew everybody. So
So when they were first coming around you as House of Crazies, what was your like initial like thoughts of the sound that was coming out of them? Like
I didn't get to really listen to a whole lot because they'd come in. Brian would bring in his he had a 8-track cassette thing that they'd record on that he would dump into the computer that our mastering guy had kind of like clean up. But so I didn't, you know, it, I didn't really know. I just knew them, I knew them
yeah.
from them
I
being
mean,
around there.
Hmm?
obviously there must have been like some sort of draw though, because now you guys are like umpteen fucking years in the game, like doing all this crazy shit, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, because they were all right dudes, So and they'd been doing it for a while, and that's I've always said, don't be a dick. So
Yeah,
if they would have been a dick to me, then whatever, and they
yeah.
weren't. So
And always doing the work and like just fucking like I don't know anybody who's followed Twisted's career at all. It seems like they're guys who like even if you tell them no, they're gonna fucking do their own thing anyways, right? So
well, yeah.
yeah. Well, that's sick, brother. So production wise, where did you get your chops from, man? Where
Well,
you say that you
it stewed in. I was in a punk band in high school, and
right?
then after that, I was doing some. I was in like a blues jam band kind of thing. So we'd play, and like when the Grateful Dead weren't on tour, then the hippies had come jam out to us just as something to kind of groove to. And it was cool because you could get when you get hippies to stage dive, that's some cool shit right there.
That is some accomplishments for sure, for sure.
So, so and then it's just playing with people and experimenting with stuff. But I've always liked the kind of the darker type of thing, which is
Yeah.
like the guy. Actually, was the guitar player in my band in high school. He just hit me up. He's like, hey man, I'm doing like a 70s rock, country type of thing. You want to lay some bass down on it? I'm like, yeah, why not? And it's like so far removed from what I've done, but I'm like, why not?
Hell yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fun. It'll be fun. So
Well,
why
anybody who
not?
doesn't know, Fritz, you produced for me. I don't know how it happened. I showed up at your doorstep one day and just kind of moved in and fucking we started making music. But
No,
like,
that was a George thing. That was a George thing. He's like,
oh yeah,
hey, that was COVID, and it was
yeah,
you were actually supposed to come down in that April,
yeah.
and
Well,
then Twisted was going to go on like their April 420 tour, and then all that turned to shit. So
yeah, COVID quickly ate that up. But what came out of it was instead we made one album, emailing back and forth and dissecting it that way. And Fritz sent me all these tests. It seemed like, anyways, it seemed like you were sending me like a wide range of stuff to see if I could just murder it or whatever. And I happened to send him everything back, and I think I did a pretty good job. You can go check out that album if you want. Um, but
yeah, I
I
mean, I had to clean it up some, so
yeah.
there was some cleaning up involved, man. So
Well, you. I was just bringing up the testing part because I talked to you before one time in like a private conversation about Mir, and because like I know that you like to throw some fucking beats at me that were kind of off the wall just to see what could be done with them, and a couple of the songs on Mir stand out to me. That were those like beats that were like you were like throwing out to see if like Madrox and Paul could just like what they could do with them, because some of them are
well, I mean, because I put together weird shit, and it's just like, and when they would just like, yeah, whatever, just keep giving it to us. I'm like, okay, well, here, how about this one? And they're like, okay, yeah, I'll write to that, and then they'll write to stuff that's in weird times and stuff. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. So you just because I just make it and then try to figure out, okay, well, where should I send this to? Because some
right.
people they listen to something and they're like, the hell am I supposed to do with that? So
Are there like types of weird tracks then? You're like, oh, this is a twisted weird track. This is a Lex
yes,
weird track. Like,
yeah, and I mean, I'll like put down a little like a description or something that I'm working on, whether if it's got guitar or if something's like trap-ish, smooth, dark-ish, slow, hip-hop-ish, strange. If I labeled it strange, then
it's really fucking
it
strange.
got some weird shit going on in it. So yeah, and then because they'll be like Paul asked me for, I want to do a 420 EP this year, but I want it to be like funk songs. So I'm like, okay, cool. Send them a bunch of stuff that was more funky. When if they want to do a Halloween thing, they're like, that's not too hard for me, being that,
Yeah,
like I told you,
that
when
was
it came time to do, I'm like, okay, do you everybody puts out a Halloween song. You got a Halloween song, right?
it
And then
was like 3 days notice. It was like
you asked me, well, do you have any Halloween beats? And I'm like, motherfucker, I am Halloween beats.
that's what he said exactly. I was like, oh, you got any Halloween beats, Fritz? And he looked at me and he like took his glasses off, dead ass side me, and he's like, I am Halloween beats, motherfucker. I was like, oh yeah, yeah, makes sense. But yeah, oh, is that you, Fritz?
No,
Oh,
I'd like to say it
That
was.
was weird.
oh, that was weird. Anyways, I thought you were showing off.
Did
Beat.
I
You're like,
lose
on
my
that note,
mic?
here's some weird shit. I can still hear you, Aaron, but anyways, I don't know what's
Oh,
happening
damn.
over
Oh,
there.
no, he got yanked. He got
Damn,
pulled. He
right
got
off the
pulled.
live,
Co-host
gone.
pulled.
Audi.
I
Yeah.
think he got swatted. I heard some people busting down his door. So
Jesus. Aaron didn't even get 2 words in, and he's
yeah,
out.
if you need bail money, brother, we can
Yeah,
put a little GoFundMe together.
we'll do
We'll
a
get you out.
GoFundMe.
We'll
But
get
if
you
you,
out. Get some money on that commissary if it
yeah,
comes down to that. So
goddamn, that must have been what we were hearing going wrong then, I guess, and then him crashing. That makes sense. Well, damn. Well, Aaron will be back momentarily, folks. I'm sure.
we hope.
Uh,
We hope.
we hope.
Yes.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird to like talk about like hearing the sound of people in their head. I mean, especially with a lot of these cats in the underground, because they go all over the place with what they sound like, you know.
Right,
But
but I mean that's a good thing rather than just being like, oh, because a lot of people are stuck in their genre. Well, I just do this, Asian funk house, and I'm like, that's all you do? Doesn't that get old?
I'm pretty sure that's what you sent me
You
the other
know,
day with
so
that song you sent me. Because this is what Fritz will do is he'll just send you troll songs. He'll be like, yeah, check this out, and then
well,
you got
and when does that normally happen?
when I'm
When you just like hey man, you working on that song? You working on that song? What happened last time? What happened when you wanted
yeah
your features? When you wanted
yeah.
your features, what did you get then? Huh?
I think I got a feature from like the Insane Clown Posse on one
Yeah,
of
well,
them.
you keep you ask for something and sometimes you'll get it. It might not be what you asked for, but you'll get something.
Aaron, you good?
Yeah, it was work trying to call me and it screwed up the whole entire live. I had to drop out
Oh,
and come back in.
well, we're glad you're alive. We thought maybe
Yeah,
you got spotted.
we were hoping that you didn't get swatted or anything. We were like,
Yeah,
we were either
yeah.
gonna try to bail you out or put some money on the commissary. So
We're gonna get a GoFundMe going in the comments and shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the love.
we're looking out for you. So
Well, luckily I didn't get swatted, so we're good.
okay, that's cool then.
Well, on the celebration of Aaron not getting swatted, we're going to play a classic fucking Fritz produced joint for y'all here in the form of a music video. We Don't Die. You might motherfucking have chanted it a million times in a million different fucking shows. So we're going to get that going next. Fritz, anything you can say about this track?
It originally didn't have guitar on it. That was like added, and I think they put the version of it that was like the non-rock version. I think that was on a Cryptic collection. So
Yeah, I think I remember hearing that one. Yeah, I think I
So-
might have that one actually, but
yeah, so but that was freak show stuff that we'd kind of all come together and work on it together, and that's why all the production on there is from Sister Cirrhosis Sound Squad, which was the three of us working on stuff. So I'd drag all my shit in there and then we'd sit there and build something. There's some tracks that I did that I'd do and then give to them. Mutant X was the first one that I did for that one.
yeah.
So I just gave that to them and then they ran with that. But like a lot of the stuff we put together just sitting in the studio, all working together. So
Sick. Well, let's play that video and we'll talk about the album a bit more when we get back from the video.
There's only a select few that can handle this freak shit. Apparition of a poltergeist, blessed with a heart, but it's cold as ice. It broke it twice. Now I walk with an axe, dressed in all jet black with contacts. Straight maniac, warlock, Sam Hain of Salem's Lot. Sam through the hourglass, ticking to the clock.
If you don't know by now, it's too late. We the most serious thing on the market since they play. We the dead. We don't explain the field play. Berserko, keep it underground to maintain. Bitch, you better check nuts. I'm doing brutal, leaving 66 for 6 months. Riding in the dick that will hurt with ghost folks. Pumping on a 2-ton blunt with dead folks. And it's like that. Ask where to run. We don't die.
Serial killers,
We don't die. Freaks of the night. We don't die.
we get high.
We don't die. Growing up out of the ground, from the underground puzzle I dug to keep away from the mainstream love. I just want somebody to move and get hurt. Got your whole dug deep in the dirt. Can't hurt with you bitch motherfuckers making love to the bus where the bitch name tatted on your chest. Me and motherfucking Mad Rocks haunting the joint. To the people that don't get the point, we don't die.
Just like a $7 bill. Voice my opinion regardless of how you feel. Freak shit. It ain't about being rich. It's about juggalos and running with lunatics. As long as y'all rock this, we won't quit. We do it all for y'all. I mean that shit. Every one of y'all means everything to me. We bleed for y'all. That's why we call it family.
Ask where to run. We don't die.
Serial killers.
We don't die.
inflicted pain. We're not positive and uplifted. Fuck you. Welcome all in our shoes. Experience hard times and paying hella dues. Freak shit. What I live, what I breathe. Cast out you next like he's diseased. Still they try to ban the sound. But supposedly if he resurrecting the dead from under hollow ground.
You in the dead zone. 10 points for us. You smell a cigarette smoke right before your lunch bust. You can't trust them, but I can bust them in half and sit back and laugh at all the shit I did. Can you do that? Did you school at? Better yet, I'm the wigged out serial killer type Corvette. Freak show, different than the rest, but I love it though. Put you to the test. Ask for the buzz, we don't die.
Serial killers.
We don't die. Freaks of the night, we don't die.
We get high.
We don't die. Ask for the buzz, we don't die.
Serial killers.
We don't die. Freaks of the night, we don't die.
We get high.
We don't die. Ask for the buzz, we don't die.
Serial killers.
We don't die. Freaks of the night, we don't die.
We get high.
We don't die. Ask for the buzz, we don't die.
Serial killers.
We don't die. Freaks of the night, we don't die.
Hell yeah. Fucking classic. Classic.
They get high.
They do. They made
I
me,
can vouch for that. So
you know, so speaking
And they
of,
don't die.
of them saying for us you know, to do things, how much of my personality gets blamed on you? You know what I mean? Like, you guys kind of programmed my life, you know what I mean?
oh, don't you keep trying to fall back on that.
No, I'm just
No.
saying, you got a generation of
It's-
like
it's
fuck on the
your
first
fault.
date,
You taught me that.
bags, you know, like
You
man,
taught me to be a male whore.
well, maybe not you specifically, but like, but not Monoxide pretty much, like, he taught me to be a whore lyrically, I think.
Yeah, right. Right. Because you just would have been a little fresh-faced, innocent little kid. But it's
Well,
that darn rap music that I listen to.
as you were recording this stuff, like, what was the vibe of the record as you guys were recording Freak Show? Like, did you know that it was gonna be like a big record? Because like, that was a dope ass fucking record.
Well, I mean, here's the way it works. So you work on it, you just try to make it as cool as you can make it, you know, and then it comes out and, I mean, well, that isn't most tasteless. Kind of sucks. It's not most tasteless. Then the next one, then Mirror Mirror comes out. Well, Freak Show is cool, but Mirror Mirror is a piece of shit. Then Green Book, like, oh my God, Green Book, it's terrible. Mirror Mirror is where it's at. So it's like every time it wasn't the thing before it that everybody was used to. So it's just, you just try to make it as cool as you can.
Well, that's like,
And that's kind of what we try to do.
so like, if you were to talk to some underground cats, would you tell them to like endure, keep fucking going? You know what I mean? Because like
Well, yeah, that's always the thing. It's you know, you can be, it's all about the art. I mean, it really is, you know, as long as it is a reflection of what you're feeling and it's honest, then, you know, put it out there, and if it's honest, then it will come across as that. And that's why I keep telling you when you're doing vocals, and I'm like, okay, I mean, I believe you on that one, and the other ones when I'm like, well, okay, well, it sounds like a hairy ass Canadian reading some shit off his phone.
You wake me up at 10 o'clock in the morning to do some music vocals, and you expect me to be good right off the hop, man. Look, let me wake the fuck up first. You know what I'm saying? Let me smoke some weed, like as a process, okay? You know?
Right, yeah, and that's why sometimes I got to do it the Ike Turner style and then whack you with a hockey stick to kind of
Did we get that?
motivate you.
Yeah. Yeah, this motherfucker hitting people with a hockey stick.
Oh,
yeah,
boo
right there.
hoo.
There's the fucking evidence right there. That's harassment.
Yeah, and what are you doing? Are you writing shit? No, smoking weed in the backyard.
I write and I smoke.
Oh,
I write and I smoke, and I smoke
Right.
and I write, and usually
And then
you're doing,
Moose
like,
Graham, and then
yeah.
Well, actually, there was a question in the chat
Sure.
for Fritz here.
Was the non
Well, Stir Crazy. Well, yeah, that was the original version, and then we're like, it's kind of lame. Let's put some guitars in it. So then we put guitars in it, and we're like, yeah, that definitely works way better like that than than with no guitars. So sometimes it's just experimenting where you clink it together, and you're like, yeah, that one. And then other times it's like, oh, that made that worse. So then you take it out. But
Was it a case of you guys did the first version and the second version in like the same session, or was it something that you took home and you just started fucking around
I'm
with?
sure what it was is that because a lot of like the Cryptic Collection stuff will be like versions of stuff that we had as we were working on it. So it was like we had everything fleshed out without guitars on it. And then when they were rating all the vault for the Cryptic Collection, they're like, okay, well, here's the version that with the vocals on it, with the beat on it, but without the guitars on it. So it's just kind of, and I don't remember if it was like, oh yeah, we're definitely going to add guitars to it or not. It's just that there was a version with no guitars, and then we put guitars on it. So.
Well, that's very cool. When you were like first like starting to put like your first like beats and instrumentals together, like was that something that like you started off on one basic piece of like equipment, because the beats seem a bit far removed from doing like just rock music and punk, you know?
Well, the studio I was working at was like the place then in the 90s to record rap, especially when West Coast gangster
Which
shit
spot was
took
it?
off.
'Cause I know
Because everybody, when Dre's, sampling the shit out of George Clinton, everybody wanted to come to the home of where George Clinton was based out of in the 80s. So that's why they ended up doing a lot of stuff there. So, because they knew that the disc had the reputation of that's where, P-Funk did a lot of stuff. So they're like, oh, well, we'll just go there. So it was like we were the rap sweatshop. So it was 6 days a week, 12 hours a day. I'd work 7 at night to 7 in the morning, and just
and you did
so I worked with like before I even started doing stuff with Twisted. I was working with all kinds of other people. So I'd got to see what they were doing production wise, and then I'd be doing my own type of thing. And then were some other people I'd be working with, just kind of, messing around with it. So I knew what people were doing, but it was, everything then was MPC 3000. And then we had everything sequenced through a Mac. And so we were recording most stuff on like ADATs and, recording it digital, because 2-inch tape is some expensive shit. $350 for 15 minutes worth of music.
Don't you got some tapes hanging around there right now? Don't you have an old deck hanging around or something like that?
Well, yeah, I got
I'm just asking for all the people who like. There's probably like, I know Stir Crazy's in there, so he probably likes to hear some technicalities from you.
Technicalities, well,
yeah.
See, this is $4.99. This was like the super awesome stuff that came in at the end of the game, but it's 1/2-inch, 8 tracks on that.
Yeah, like we're so lucky to have like Pro Tools and shit nowadays.
Yeah, this is I think these would go for, I think this was like $50 a reel, and this would move at like half the speed, so that would get you, half hour, 8 tracks. So
damn, man, it's come a long ways.
It has. So
I mean,
so I have a question for Fritz.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
I've seen the picture of you playing guitar. So how many instruments can you actually play? Like not just, I dabble in them.
Well, mainly I grew up playing bass. So that's when I played in bands, I was playing bass. But then I can play guitar, so, and then, but what I learned on originally was ukulele and banjo. But at the time, that'd get your ass beat up on the playground. So nowadays it would be you'd be hot shit. Everybody's playing a ukulele now. So, but then you didn't tell people that in casual conversation unless you
I
wanted.
didn't know it was cool to play ukulele now, man. You're putting me on
dude,
college
it shit's on computer. All the Americana stuff, all the hipsters playing ukulele. Yeah.
You mentioned George Clinton, man. Did you ever do sessions with him?
What was funny, because usually he would come in and there was some type of shit going on with like production companies being based out of that address and record labels and publishing and stuff. So I don't know what kind of shady shit was going on, but they'd be like, okay, George is coming here at 7, just give him this envelope. And it would just be like a fat ass envelope, clearly full of money. So I don't know what, and I was just like, hey, George, yeah, here's your big ass envelope full of money. But he'd come in, but what he'd do is he'd come there, and if like people were doing sessions, he'd actually just like walk into the sessions, and he'd just come in and be like, hey man, need anybody on the hook? And he'd come in and like literally just like jump in on the session and throw some shit down.
Dude,
just have some young kids that were like, oh my God, George Clinton was on the hook of my song. Which is cool when you think about it.
That's really
going
cool.
in there.
I saw him at the gathering of the Juggalos on several different substances. It was a good time.
Yeah, he had Louis Kababi he had a cigar box full of drugs that he would basically, he was just the drug, so he was the drug handler.
He was on that show my kid watches the other week, actually, The Masked Singer, man.
Well, he was just in Detroit. He just played is it Thursday night or Friday night? But the picture that they have him on the flyer, I'm like, come on. He looked rough as shit 30 years ago. You're trying to tell me he looks like some smooth-faced dude with a solid black beard? I'm like, come on now.
That's cool though. I mean, just to have somebody like that, like roaming the hallways and randomly showing up like some sort of mythical creature,
Well, he definitely was some type of mystical creature. So there were lots of mystical creatures that were affiliated with him. They would just wander around and then be like, okay. It was one dude that lived. I don't know if he was like officially homeless, but he would he'd just kind of post up in our we had like a little lounge type of thing, but the dude would always be there. They just hanging out all day and all night. And I'm like, does he have a place to live, or why is he always here? And he was somehow associated with, I don't know if he was directly associated with George or is just some weird old white dude that was sleeping on the couch and like was homeless guy living in the studio. I don't know. So you don't ask too many questions, man, in the music biz, especially there. You get some answers you don't want to hear, and then next thing you know, then I'm buried behind the place somewhere. So
noted. I should show up with some really strange fucking people to the studio sessions. Okay, I got you, brother. No problem. Aaron, you coming to the next session?
Well, didn't I have my house taken over by a bunch of your weirdos?
I mean,
hey.
Yeah.
Weirdos. I was there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, but that was the thing, though. That's it's his type of weirdos, though, because it take over just like a gang of people in the backyard, and then I was standing in the rain, and I'm like, where I sleep is warm and is like 10 feet in that direction. So I went to bed, and then, if it would have been something I'm affiliated with, I would have got up the next morning, and there would have been like naked people sleeping in the grass, everything broken or burned. And there was like there was something, it was like a water bottle laying on the ground.
he got mad at me the next day because there was no like sign of like a rager fucking party.
Yeah,
My drunk
but
ass actually
that's
cleaned
that
up the place.
Canadian bullshit. They're supposed to have windows busted out,
No,
shit
man.
still
Look,
burning
man.
on fire.
Hold on. We were trying to be respectful before we even got there. Noise was like, "Hey, we're not having a rager. We're just gonna hang out by the fire, listen to some music."
Yeah,
And
because
then
he
we all
knew that he
dispersed.
wasn't leaving because he was going to have to seek the repercussions of that. Like, hey, dude, you know how your friends like tore my house apart? Well,
Well,
check this out. Remember that album that you used to have that we were working on?
yeah. Exactly.
Well, that's cool. I was talking to Drake's people, and they're like really interested in just taking all that. And
Fuck Drake. Fuck Toronto. I mean, I'm pretty open-minded to most places in the world, but fuck that shit.
no, you're
okay?
not. No, you're not.
Well, man, me and you, I don't know, we've been working together for a while now. We got this new project coming out. Gonzo is going to be coming out. You got the Fez Monkey there that I'm going to steal one day from the studio. He's coming home with me. Man, I don't know. I feel like we've been talking a lot about like the Twisted stuff and a bit about you doing your own, you doing your thing beforehand too. I don't know, like if we can talk about Gonzo a little bit, man. Like,
No,
what would?
it's not done, so we can't talk about it.
I mean, it's almost done though, and I think people should be expecting it soon. Fucking like, what was it like having a Noise 13, down there, creeping in on your space and working with you? What was that like, man?
Well, it was very, very marijuana oriented. Very, very marijuana oriented. Lots of weed naps and weed smoking and trips to the party store to buy sugary drinks and snack food.
That's very true.
And the
And
first
Jets
and
pizza.
well, the first time when he was living large with the ordering anything he could get brought to the house. So he was Sonic and but then you found out later that Coney Island by my house, the hut.
Yeah, that the hot by your place there saved me a few times. You go in there with like $13 and you can get yourself like 3 different fucking meals, waffles and chicken and fucking chili dog on the side every time. Sorry, Coney dog, right?
Coney dog. Coney dog. Don't fuck it up now.
I miss the States for all the fucking junk food and shit like that, man. You
right.
guys have
When you see them 400-pound people wandering around, then you wonder why, because we're ace on our snacks.
Yeah. And not to mention, not many people are gonna know this. Fritz is the fucking barbecue king down there too, by the way, man. Like you be doing all them fucking, what was it?
I might have just got myself in trouble though, because now I think they're wanting it. Paul was like, what would it take to have brisket delivered on tour? I'm like, well, it'd be really expensive and take me a lot of time to do, but because I did the Astronomicon brisket and pulled pork for them, and then I did did Fright Fest brisket for that. And they sent me a picture of the pan afterwards. It was just brutalized. There were like little bits of shrapnel left. So
yeah, man.
Like that. And now Astro's coming up again. I'm gonna have to do another one for Astro, man.
Hell yeah. Speaking of Astro, maybe that's what we'll dive into next. Let's jump into the news, and we'll keep Fritz along for the ride. And Fritz, if you want to comment on things that you see pop up, let us know. But yeah, let's jump into the news segment. Yeah, we got the VIP party announced for Astronomicon 6. Astronomicon is looking fucking stacked this year. I mean, we got the Killer Karaoke with Boondocks and Insane E and First Jason. Yeah, what we got next here? Keep it rolling. You also got the Brews with Blaze friggin' show coming up with Blaze and the ROC Super Famous Fun Time. Red is, I mean, this is looking like a stacked weekend, folks. Like Fun Time on the bill already. Holy. What else we got coming up? Movie night with Twisted. Like you insomniac ninjas got nothing to do in the middle of the night. You want to go chill with your favorite serial killer fucking duo. You can go check out the movie with them. Fucking yeah, Fritz, you're gonna be you're gonna be around the Astro area, aren't you?
Yeah, that it's cool that it's by the house now, so that I can just run on over there. But
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
I'll be hanging out.
Oh, next in the news, we got Blaze and ABK starting up this tour in April. It's going to be running all over the place. If you want to check out the dates, you can go check out all the information on the UndergroundAholics page. There's lots of links on there to the same flyer. But yeah, I think they're looking for openers right now too. So hit them up, and if you want to get on a show, go do that. Also announced for the Astronomicon, Blothar of Gwar has been announced. I mean, they've got so many announcements. I don't know how many of them we got up here. I think we got quite a few, though. Got Rhino from ECW legend, also TNA legend, WWE. He was running for a long time. Hell yeah, Rhino's in the building for sure. What else we got? Jason Lee, My Name is Earl from the Muse universe. I mean, damn, that's a big one. Holy crap, I'd like to get stoned with that dude. Hell yeah.
I knew you were gonna you track him down and get him high.
That's what I'm gonna do, yeah. So we threw this one up, but just, as both of them in one. Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes got a photo up there, but just to announce that they got like the whole Muse cinematic universe basically at this year's Astro. It's a stacked fucking Astro this year between shows and between all the people coming. I think it's going to be packed, so y'all should get your tickets like now. Do we got anything else in news? Oh yeah, Lex the Hexmaster just dropped his new single, Money Back. It's available now. Go blare that shit everywhere. Lex is the homie. You know,
He
Lex
is the
Fritz.
homie.
Yeah. You've done a few things for him.
Well, yeah,
I
I
guess,
just got done mastering the Money Back single, as a matter of fact.
There
Mix
you go.
it and master it. So
See, you motherfuckers, like this motherfucker does everything in the underground. I don't know why I keep calling you a motherfucker. Sorry, Fritz. So my bad.
I'm erasing your album.
Ah!
Don't be a dick. It's simple rules to live by.
I'm sorry. I learned it from you. We got any other news?
All right, so this last one is actually from some buddies of mine over at Baby Tooth Killers. This is PSE. He's dropping his album on February 14th called Dirty Dog. I've heard a bunch of shit off this, and it's dope.
Sick.
All right.
Dope.
Yes. Very dope.
Well, Fritz. I mean,
yes, noise.
How do you feel about all that news, sir? Was that adequate news for you? Or how's our segment going? Are we
No,
impressing you?
that's cool. I mean, I try to keep up with what's going with Astro, because that's
Astro's
cool.
stacked this year with Kevin Smith and the Muse universe, and then
they've been trying to get him for a while now, so I think what happens is that they can look it up and just look at numbers and what people have done and been like, oh well, hell yeah. So it just keeps
see it
building.
jumping up. Yeah, it's going to jump up this year for sure, just with that lineup and like the concerts too, like Blazes Brews actually like the lineup on everything is like.
So you're gonna help? Are you gonna help me out with a bootleg coat check this year?
Hell yeah, yeah. I mean, we can't talk about it though because then people know about it. But just come check your coats with us, and we're totally not going to steal your shit when you check your coats with us. So.
Right. But yeah.
All right, so there's another question. Oh, there's a couple questions actually.
Perfect.
Here's the first one.
During the sessions for Tales of the Lotus Pod, I heard some weird, creepy shit would happen during the recording of Black Magic. Any truth to that story?
Well, during the sessions for Tales of the Lotus Pod, Jamie, Paul, and I did music for the ones that we worked on at the disc, and then all that got sent over to the Lotus Pod. So I actually wasn't in on the actual sessions, but we did music for it. And then because it was always some issue with somebody or someone, I forget. I think maybe at the time I worked with Joey's younger brother, and somehow Joe got bent out of shape about that. So then I couldn't come to the Lotus Pod for a while because of that. So and then that once that got smoothed over, then things were okay. And then we did Mirror. So it's always interesting shit. But yeah, so I wasn't there, but I mean,
Politics.
Did weird shit happen? I know that they were trying to keep it kind of dark, so I don't know. So maybe so. I know that Alex came back from Egypt with like this little acrylic container with a piece of one of the pyramids, and we're like, dude, that's some super bad juju right there to just be chilling in the studio. So I don't know, maybe hey,
Damn,
you can go put that in your office or something, you know.
And what happened to Alex, man?
Well, that's a great question. You ever watched the movie The Mummy?
Oh geez. Oh damn. He became an actor.
All right, so there's another question.
I always wondered who thought to use the sample used in "I'm Alright" beat from Freak Show. Won't mention the sample.
Oh, well, Stir Crazy, you absolutely are correct. Yes, that was 100% a Jamie thing. So 100%.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Aaron, did you have any other questions?
There was a follow-up.
Oh, there was a follow-up question.
Well, I don't know. What was statement.
Summer crash.
Would go out and soundboard crash and whatnot during the song.
During that song. Well, could be, but it could either be ghost related or it could be that maybe the just shitty power supply and just your standard bullshit. It could be that too. So
Detroit, like city wiring.
Right. It's like, you know, there could have been a shootout down the street and somebody shot the transformer and then the power went out.
All right, so I do have a question. You've worked with a lot more people than just ICP and Twisted. Like, who are some of the, I guess, largest name people that you've worked with?
Well, probably the largest was Eminem, because when I was working at the disc, there was a guy that I worked midnights with who was tight with all the guys from the hip hop shop, and it was Proof and JD and, you know, that whole like gaggle of people. So they'd come into the studio, and I've worked with Proof before. But I was working with these guys, DeRuckus, and it was Hush and Uncle Ill, but Hush was kind of tight with M because they kind of ran in the same crowd. But I was working on stuff with Hush, and he brought M in to do a verse on something. So that was like the first time I actually recorded Eminem, and then I was doing something with Proof when he brought him in again. So, and actually I worked with him and I didn't even know it, but I got like see CD. And we used to get, because you back when it was expensive to put shit on CD. So we'd keep the ones that were messed up to put stuff on. So I ran something on this, but then I just put something on this. It was a piece of paper for my keeping track of hours. It's just random times and such. But I was looking one day on this and I didn't even realize it. But let's see here. It was 8/24 of 95 from 9 to 9:30. Marshall Mathers. So I don't know what we did, but in 95, I spent a half hour in the studio.
Something was done.
Something was done.
Yeah,
so.
something was done.
Something was done. So, you know.
All right, all you ninjas out there, detective ninjas, go find out what the fuck that was and get back to us on that shit. All right.
Then we had a lot of like cool, like P-Funk and Motown people. Amp Fiddler, I did a bunch of stuff with him, and he was just super talented. But I think he toured with Alicia Keys and stuff. So it was on a lot of. He was more R&B-ish, but it was. Then
didn't you do some work with Anita Baker?
Yeah. She was having an issue with her engineer where she couldn't get a hold of him. So she booked a session at the Disc because she knew Greg because he didn't work for Motown, but he worked for Holland Dozier Holland, who were like the main songwriters for Motown. So she knew Greg. So she came to the studio, and it was crazy how the whole thing played out, because I did a couple of sessions with her, and then she wanted to fly me down to Nashville to work on something.
That's sick.
And it was cool because I went home one day and my now ex-wife was like, "There's a message on the answering machine from Anita Baker." I'm like, "Oh, cool." So she's like, "Huh?" But Anita Baker's engineer Gerard, Gerard. His assistant worked at one of the studios at the Disc, and the assistant happened to be there and saw Anita, and he was like immediately on the phone. He's like, "Hey, Anita's up here doing sessions. You know what's going on?" And then all of a sudden, the engineer had time for her, and then no Nashville, no more Anita sessions, and is that close? That close.
That's the fucking game, man.
It is the game, man. I've heard all kinds of stories with people. Like, I know one guy was working with Bob Seger and he like accidentally erased something and gone. And that's how like the next dude got his opportunity. So it's fleeting, so
if you get opportunities, you know that saying something about that there, you better take your best swing at things, right?
Yeah, you never know, because you could be like, "Oh yeah, well it's all you got the talent." There's so much of the shit that revolves around luck. So
do you have any advice for like producers and people like engineers and all that coming up in the underground scene?
Well, yeah, don't be a dick. Jesus. Oh my God. It's just haterific. Everybody, everybody's talking shit, and it's just, do shit. It's supposed to be about the music, man.
yeah. But everybody's got egos and all that.
Well,
shit,
it's
right?
tough. It's hard now because it's like there's so much is social media oriented, and I do such a horrible job at social media because it's like I'm always, I'm always working on the stuff. So it's like I don't have the time to do both. So, and then if I'm doing shit for like my website, then I'm not getting any music done. And then music is what drives the whole thing. It's a mess, bro.
For people who don't know, like, not only are you doing production and doing sessions, but you do the mixing, mastering. And you're mastering so many of these fucking projects that are coming out in the underground. It's absurd. Like, I'm sure people would be really surprised to know everything that you've mastered. It's a lot, man. And then show tapes too, dude.
Oh, dude, you know what? Everything is based around goddamn show tapes. You know, everything, absolutely everything. And it was like that's how I got, introduced to ICP, and that's everything revolves around show tapes. And
I mean, you're great at them, though, and I mean, like, people should be going over to you at these shows and be like, "Thank you for putting this together," you know, like, because he's literally editing like the set lists for the shows a lot of the time. So like you know, and it takes time, people, you know.
So there's actually another question.
Whose idea was it to include animal noises on the early Twisted albums? He misses that.
I miss that too. It is just that's, when we just be sitting around, we play well off of each other. So we just start talking about crazy shit, and I'd just be like, okay, well, why don't we just put a chicken in here? And they're like, yeah. Okay, that makes no sense. That's great. It's like that whole skit where they're somehow in a rice paddy getting shot at. It was
on like, Hydro. Yeah, Hydro.
And it was just, we started messing around with something, and the next thing you know, we got that. And then people are like, what really is that all about? And they're like, well,
I always thought
it means exactly that. Whatever you take out of it, that's what it is.
Get down, motherfucker. Get down.
But they did the Green Book comic, and I thought for sure that they would tie it all together, but they didn't. And I was like, man, come on. I wanted that to be one of the scenes in the comic to like bring it.
Here, we got a picture we can put up on the screen real quick. Throw that up. Bam.
Yeah. Damn, look at that, man. That's a younger Fritz too, right there.
Well, that was a little bit younger. That was when they did the freak show thing out in Philly. They flew me out to Philly to see what was it? It was the 15th anniversary show. I think that might have been it. So yeah, they flew me out I had to fly into Boston and then fly into Philly because they did the whole entire album start to finish. So
yeah,
that was
sick,
dope,
man.
And it was cool that they were like, hey, let's bring him out too. It's show tapes, all show tape. Show tape.
I mean, you've really been like instrumental in like so many people's like lives for so many years. I mean, literally like the soundtrack to a lot of our lives.
I didn't make you treat women poorly.
I don't treat
Mr.
women
Noise
poorly.
13.
I treat them good. That's why they sleep with me. Just because I'm a hoe doesn't mean that I don't have good intentions.
Right. Like, I'm about to hit up that Tinder right now and see what them dirty bitches is doing. And so,
see, look, I told you this was what it was going to be, Noise. You were like, yeah, let's get Fritz on here. This will be great. And I was like, he's going to harass you the whole time.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it professional for once, and he's talking about this shit.
See, you have to crush his spirits in order for him to rebuild as the artist that he should be. So you have to. That's why I told Dean, I'm like, well, I haven't worked with you enough to try to crush your soul. So
hashtag rap dad.
Yeah, rap dad. Yeah. I give
they
handing out the advice, all that quality advice. Like, why bother?
Why
bother?
Really? I've gotten over the years. Sell your blood. Sell all plasmas.
Oh yeah, get some oil sand.
Yeah.
Mail him some oil sand. We can just filter the oil out of it. No, man, you're. It's funny because like we kid like stuff like this, but you also seem to like take people under your wing and like almost like if you believe in them, you'll help them out.
Well, because there just so many pieces of shit in the business. That's why. Where I see, I've seen a bunch of people. They're like, okay, find a young artist and then try to get as much money out of them as possible while doing the least amount. And the thing is that once you put something out, that's never going away. And if if you put out a super shitty project as the first thing somebody comes out, then what are you going to do? It isn't like you can like, okay, well, unless you want to change your name, your artist name, and then that's not going to work because then, that'll people figure that out.
Yeah.
So it's the people that do that. I'm like, man,
I think
to make a couple of bucks.
Hey, there's a question in the chat.
Sure. Who did the beat for Wondering Why off Green Book?
I believe there were 2 versions. It might have been that I know I did the beat first, but I think they had Mike do a remix for it because they wanted him on it. So originally I did it. I forget which one is on the actual album.
He's probably got it right there next to him somewhere.
Probably, yeah. Let me bet some money on this before we do anything.
I don't know what happened either. Look. That's one of my favorites.
That is my favorite album of all time.
See, well, it doesn't actually say on here.
Damn.
But it does say Mikey Clark. So yeah, I would imagine. I think that was what it was. Was Wondering Why I did the beat originally, but then they had Mike remix it, and then of course, I'm sure the version that I did originally is nice and peacefully sitting on a cryptic collection somewhere.
Well, maybe you won that one then, Skizzle. God damn it. I make fun of Skizzle all the time because he looks just like Fritz the Cat, actually. I call him Frizzle. So there you go. You get your 5 minutes of fame there, Skizzle.
You were right. Harry Canadian was wrong. Boo!
Boo, Canadian.
Hashtag fake news. You're full of shit.
Toque. It's a fucking toque. It's not a beanie. It's not a cap. It's a toque.
It's a stocking cap.
No.
It's a fucking beanie.
No. God damn it, no. On that note, though, let's throw it to another classic Fritz-produced fucking music video. Can we get that going? We got the Story of Our Lives. Fritz, you want to tell us anything about this track?
He's on the move. He's on the move.
Can you tell us anything about Story of Our Lives?
That was me and the ROC did joint production on it, and then they flew us out to LA to do the video. And I remember we were in the airport and we weren't going to make our flight, but Isham, the Unholy, runs like a sprinter through the airport to yell at people like, wait. So they waited, and then there's me and the ROC running because we had to take our shoes off to make sure there weren't any bombs in them. So we're like literally running through the airport with no shoes on because we didn't have time to put them back on.
Oh, damn.
Made the flight. And then like there's a DVD where when they were taking everybody out to where they was some type of like men's colony or something. It wasn't a jail, but it was some type of incarceration deal. It was like really decrepit and nasty, which is why it was perfect for that.
Right.
And the RV that we were in broke down on the freeway. So they had to like send somebody to pick up all the artists. So they had to get their makeup done, and they had to get all those people out there. So it was me, Paul's brother, and the brothers Rick and Pat who do security, and there's big motherfucking dudes. So we had to bring some like tubs of snacks and drinks or whatever. So the dude who came to pick us up brings his homie with him, and it's like, where are we all going to fit? And we didn't have room because we got 2 big beefy motherfuckers and driving in his homie. So they had to like shove me. It was a station wagon. They had to open up the tailgate and shove me on top of all the shit in the back and like literally close the door on top of me.
Oh, Jesus.
So it was mushed in there. So on the DVD, they're filming when they're extricating me out of the back of that shit. They open it up and are like peeling me off the top.
Oh my God, play the video.
Let's check out the video.
We can help you.
We can make it better.
Everybody listening now to say this. Twisted is the motherfucking shit. And everybody else that feels that I'm a little out of line, come see me when you hit and rewind, and you will find that I'm an ex-con serial killer, axe-wielding gorilla, big gorilla. As I walk in the shadow of death, I bitch slapped his ass and then light a cigarette. I told you all addicted to drugs and weird sex and putting holes in the back of your neck. Carnival recheck. Respect like you do to Don Dada when you see me give your boy a holler. Got the world in the shot, kinda like a Rottweiler on a loose, running trains on your girl's caboose. Don't believe in the truth, we gon' fight until somebody here dies. I've been here since 1865 and no lies.
This is the story of our lives. Come and take a look in my eyes. Keep it real and tell me no lies. We've been waiting for you. This is the story of our lives. Come and take a look in my eyes. Keep it real and tell me no lies. We've been waiting for you. We came through the door, kicking that bitch off the hinge. We was knocking, but wouldn't nobody let us in. It's the incredible, edible, white chocolate rappers. We came on the scene, busting the cabbage patch backwards. D-I-T-Z-I-W-T. We was born connected at the hip like Siamese twins. We coming out with the underground sound and one finger on each hand, and you can count them.
Fuck everybody here, man, it's not about them. And tucked inside of my bag is a problem. Underground, feel the ground shake, feel it vibrate, watch a girl gyrate. We can move the whole world if we choose, but instead we kick the wickedest blues. And I refuse to lose the demographic of the people who choose to put their hearts inside of the black magic.
And here we go. This is the story of our lives. Come and take a look in my eyes. Keep it real and tell me no lies. We've been waiting for you. This is the story of our lives. Come and take a look in my eyes. Keep it real and tell me no lies. We've been waiting for you. We write voodoo sayings on the fronts of t-shirts so that when people read them, they will become creatures. Still coming with the Ultraman flow that'll linger in your brain and constantly echo. We ain't in it to be rich, we're in it to reach folks and change life and put you up on shit you ain't know. That's about it. You're in the midst of some maniac, so we'll load a microphone in your dome as if it's a gag. So conceal the unreal. If the fruit is mass appeal, we're the worms eating our way from under the apple peel with all juice. Ain't no Pulp Fiction, no $1.99 a minute for our predictions. We smash mics like with the rhymes we recite. Keep this motherfucker hype from now till sunlight. Now do you really need a shovel to dig it? And with the flip of a coin, we can be righteous and wicked. This is the story of our lives. Come and take a look in my eyes. Keep it real and tell me no lies. We've been waiting for you. This is the story of our lives. Come and take a look in my eyes. Keep it real and tell me no lies. We've been waiting for you. We've been waiting for you.
Hey! Another
Yo.
classic from Fritz the Cat and Twisted.
And the
There's a comment in here for Fritz.
oh, ninjas in action. It's the chip.
Eh,
It's the Chips theme. Jump Steady wanted me to remake the Chips theme because he liked it.
it's one of the best tracks off that album, Fritz. It's certified banger.
And he had me remake a Pat Benatar song for his daughter, his young ass daughter, to sing over.
And that was like what, some of your first work that you got on site?
Well, when I first went over there to like left the studio I was at to work for them, everybody went on tour, so they're like, okay, you're doing Jump Steady's album. So the first thing I did when I went over there was a Jump Steady deal.
I mean, there's some
And it
dope
was-
records on that, but I can't imagine listening to like the Chips theme over and over.
Oh, and that's the thing is that it's so long. There are 400 people on it, and it's just over. Yes, it's over and over.
Anybody who's been in the studio,
Look, now that's going to be stuck in your head all the rest of the night.
No,
Damn.
it's not, because
you can just put some dope shit on.
you just use you purge. You put
It's in your
something cool.
headphones, though, Fritz. You don't got it on the speakers. You got it in your headphones, so we couldn't hear.
Oh, well, here.
$5,000. Anybody who wants a beat. Actually, let's go ahead and let's pull up Fritz's BeatStars and let's show him some of this new shit that he's got up that people are available to.
I need to get some newer stuff on there, so because I haven't put any. It comes in, you know. I
just
finished
to
some
make people
stuff.
aware, you know.
Yes, please. But I mean, because it's interesting because you look at it'll tell you because I'll get like the Canada people. I told you need to get more Canadian people on there. So
Yeah,
you know,
well,
because
I'm rallying the
it'll tell
troops
me
right
it'll tell me where the views are coming from. And it's, you know, when you get people in Poland that are checking out beats, I'm down with that, you know. So
But yeah, anybody looking to do some work with Fritz, even if you're an unknown artist, you can go to his BeatStars right here, and he's got multiple things up right now. He's going to be putting more up, but like go check it out. And like it's an opportunity for like maybe you're not like Noise where you can just, you know, finagle your way into talking to
just
Fritz.
wear me down.
Yeah, just
Wear me down. Like if I make you a beat, will you shut up?
yeah. That's where I'm at.
And then
right
you
now.
make the beat, and then he doesn't shut up. So you know,
I'm like, I say shit out loud to people when I'm with Fritz. I'm like, Fritz is my best friend. And he looks at me and he's like, what the fuck? And then he tries to walk away, but I just follow him. You know, I'm like, Fritz, where are you going? Like,
best
Yeah,
friend,
like a lost puppy dog.
best friend, where are you going?
Why are you leaving me?
but if you can't do the noise thing, then you can hit up his BeatStars and go check that shit out. He's got a couple up there right now.
Yeah, and I mean, and if and you can hit me up through Instagram or Facebook, send me a DM. I mean, I make stuff for people. Obviously, the cheapest way is BeatStars because that's the stuff that, you know, I make stuff for BeatStars just for leases, you know, just so people can get into it. But then if somebody wants something custom made, man, I am like more than willing to do that. So, you know, we got Canada, we got Italy. Like I said, I got, oh, holy shit. You've been putting your work in, my friend.
What do we got?
15 plays from Canada, 6 from Italy, 4 from Germany.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean,
Germany,
you're Fritz the Cat,
Estonia,
so you have way
Switzerland,
more.
Japan, Spain, Czechoslovakia, India. Damn, India. Okay. I guess. I don't know. You know any Indian horrorcore rappers?
I mean, just, you know, just a couple actually, yeah.
A couple. Okay.
But what was I going to say though? No, but like if you go on there too, basically what Fritz is saying is it's not like he's got stuff made up there that's more so for like it's just styling, like it's not the typical what you would hear from Fritz, I think is what you mean, you know, like actually, can you play that one track, Holly? Could you pull up that there's the third one on that website there? Could you actually play it for a second? If it's possible. If not, it's fine. But I just want to, so people can get a taste of it, you know.
Hang on, she's got to open the screen sharing.
There we go. All good.
This one?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one.
Pipe bender.
This one would probably resonate with a lot of underground cats.
Mhm.
Buy it. It's only $50. You go ahead and buy it.
All right.
Oh, this is the weirdo one. Yeah.
Dark.
FTC Musik Labz.
And if you buy it, you don't have to have that play at the start, right, Chris?
That's how it works.
Well, some people want that at the start, though, you know, Chris? I'll play that the fourth one now, so they can get a little difference. Thank you very much.
She,
Want to?
you know, don't just bark orders.
Oh, I appreciate her very much. She's an amazing producer. Make me want to take my shirt off.
The beat juggernaut.
I know exactly who should be on this beat.
I said that to a few people that Fritz too. Like, this is dope, right?
I'm gonna have to send that to Knowledge.
Knowledge, if you need the hook, hit me up. I think you did.
The beat juggernaut.
Yeah. BeatStars.com/FTC Musik Labz. That's with K's and Z's, because you got to swap out the C's for Z's and such. Yeah.
I think this is the one that you were talking about.
FTC Musik Labz.
Yeah. Walking.
Not really love song material.
No.
Not smooth R&B.
I think a Grady Finch can kill this one. Hell yeah. Yeah, go to BeatStars.com/FTC Musik Labz. Get you some beats today. If you're an artist wanting
Or
to
if you
work
want
with Fritz,
something custom made, just drop me a DM, send me an email.
a lot of people are intimidated by you, though.
That's what you keep telling me. You're like, okay, yeah, well, they want to work, and then it's like, I never hear from people.
I think people just think that you're like, because you are really important and always doing shit. But the thing is if
yeah,
you
but this
reach
is
out
what
to
I
him, he'll take the
do,
time.
though. This is
Yeah.
it's what I do.
I don't
So
know.
I don't wander around in a fur coat, pimping
Yeah.
hoes, and driving fast cars. It's literally what I do to pay the bills. So
Yep.
yeah, if you need some shit, just hit me up.
Damn, that sounds like some what do they call that? Odyssey, whatever the fuck.
They call that music, bro. You didn't know that?
That made me want to like hit an obelisk with a hammer. You know what I'm saying? Like that made me want to like communicate with aliens, brother. You know what I'm saying?
I think you do a fine job of communicating with aliens all on your own.
Yeah, well, you Earthlings will get used to me one day. Hey, can we play that video of me and Fritz fucking working in the studio together? Is that something that we can play here?
Working.
Me and you do mad work though. We do like it's pretty crazy.
Hey, bro, I gotta go out and smoke some weed and then take a nap.
But what do we do when I'm not napping and smoke weed? We put it
usually
together.
Eating some American bullshit food.
Okay, but even me doing all that, I outwork.
Then you walk up to the party store and buy sugary drinks and salty snack foods. Then take another nap because that wears a man down walking up to to and doing selfies with, hey, this sign says 8 Mile, man. 8 miles that Eminem joint, man.
Well,
look, I'm taking pictures in front of the street sign.
Let me tell the story. it's like the first session with Fritz, you know, and he's talking to me. He's like, well, at least you're not one of those assholes who went up to the 8 Mile sign and took your selfie with it. And so I wait for the first break that we have, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna walk to the store and get some pop, Fritz. And I send him a selfie of me at the fucking 8 Mile sign with the caption "Mom's Spaghetti" underneath it. I was like, ha ha ha. Because it's funny because he told me that I was better than most assholes, and then I went and did it. So.
And I should have known you're just an asshole to begin with. So, and then you just keep on reaffirming that every time, every day. Just
there's got to be something to said about that though, because you're still working with me and you're still taking my calls and messages. So
yeah. Well, you know.
Do we got the behind the scenes film there? Is it good to go?
He said put the video. Just play one.
Hey, Fritz. Hi. Oh, can't zoom on you. Just go like, what the We in the studio rapping, and I am not the captain, but I will eat some crunch when I am having my lunch. Banana. They can't hear the reverb in the video, so they don't know what it's like, bro. Fritz the Cat.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever, man. That's the look of an asshole. Those are pretty good. Like that's, you know, if you ever want to work with Fritz the Cat, that gives you a little good snippet into the world for sure. With all these scars I'm covered in, what am I standing for? What am I standing for? With all these scars I'm covered in. The chat says it's gonna miss clips of you, Fritz. You know what I'm not gonna miss? You. How about that? Yeah. Fuck you, man.
One.
So my producer. Yeah. Is there any more all ears? So my producer / engineer / I don't know, father. He's telling me I gotta fucking write a song, learn a song, and remember my set. Happy Fritz in this bitch. Detroit squirrels. They're the small size of small cats. And the carry gats. Good scratch. Yo, you're kind of cute. Maybe we won't kill you and eat you. I'm gonna call you Scruffy. Scruffy the Scruffy Squirrel. I'm not high at all. Hey, Scruff. I don't know.
It's for the TikToks.
So my producer.
That's a high man babbling.
I mean, but that's what happens when you're doing the mixing and mastering. Is I'm outside talking to the fucking squirrels, you know, or writing.
Fritz is always working. Noises like that's running.
Yeah, Skizzle said dabs, Captain Crunch, and squirrels.
Yo, I'll tell you one thing. How I knew Fritz was a good dude is when I showed up to start working with him. He had like fucking munchies. Like he's like, okay, I got you some Captain Crunch, some
Stoner food. Well,
yeah, chips, cookies.
He
whatever.
knew that you were a big ass child.
I'm responsible. I'm somewhat. I'm not at all. I'm fucking not at all.
You see the look on Rap Dad's face? That's apparent that you are not.
I'm the son he never wanted.
I was hoping when I went out for cigarettes that you would not track me down, but
I'm like,
I guess I didn't go far enough for the cigarettes. Maybe a different country, being in a different country, but no.
I just showed up like 18 years later. And
Track
like,
you down, man. It's kind of bogus, but hey, what's up? Mind if I smoke weed in your backyard?
Record some music.
Man, I don't know, Fritz. You're a different kind of cat. No pun intended, for sure. You're a different type of cat, for sure.
Really?
And you have such like a sound, and like to be working with you, and me and you got like you basically did like 90% of Gonzo coming up, and then we're gonna start working on another one here soon too. But like just to hear what you're making for other dudes, and like of course Twisted and shit, man. You like how do you do so much, man? How do you just keep it going these many years? How do you keep it fresh?
It's only been 32 years I've been doing it. So
it's just been my whole life that you've been doing.
It's still a young pup in it, but I literally have like just hundreds of things that you just sit down and you work on something, you spit an idea out there, and it isn't like 99% of the time I don't sit down and write something, come up with something start to finish, but I'll just put down all kinds of ideas, and then you go back through and you add a little bit to them or add a little bit to them, and then when they get more fleshed out, you'll be like, okay, well this could possibly go to because I know it. And then sometimes I got to do a little research if I know somebody's looking for something. Because like I had Cody Manson come up to me at Fright Fest, and he's like, "Hey man, can you send me some beats?" So I want to make something that's more along his style, because he's,
yeah.
Some of the dudes are more trap oriented, and some of the people are into more, the boom bap type of East Coast stuff. And then other people just, like Jamie, he just wants me to throw weird shit at him, and then he just somehow comes up with something out of it. So.
Something to be said about being adaptive to different sounds, though, especially with working with other people, eh?
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's why I like working with people who have different sounds rather than somebody who's just sticking with. And again, you get a lot of cats that are just like, well, my genre is I only do early 90s East Coast boom bap.
Yeah,
and it's like that's it. That's all you. Doesn't that get old?
And then Fritz is like, when you get
don't you want some like Memphis Thunder in the trunk sometimes?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Your windows blow out. Don't you want that at some point in time too? Because that's cool too. So
Yeah. Don't be an asshole. Know your worth, but don't be an asshole. That means listen. Just listen sometimes. And even sometimes you don't gotta like take all of it into consideration, but take some of it. You know what I mean? What makes sense to you, take it and make it your own. That's and sometimes cats, I think, will just cats will just
I see.
to test you. So you can just throw what you can on there. Maybe he was going to say it was trash, but he didn't. I don't know. I'm just trying to frame it in a way, because with this show being for the underground, it's like what can we say to these young up and coming rappers and engineers and musicians and everything. You know, what can we say to them just to give them a bit of knowledge and help out? You know, that's how I'm trying to frame it.
I mean, back in the olden times, I mean, I played music for I don't know how many years without ever actually releasing anything, because we did it just, it was awesome to jam with people and just to make music, you know. And so then, you know, later we actually, you know, when you start to record stuff with it, you know, with it going to, if you kind of put the cart before the horse, where you're like, you know, okay, well, I've been making beats for 2 weeks now and I want to start selling them. It's like, you know, spend a little time, just like experiment, have fun with it, you know.
Hone your craft.
Yeah. And it isn't like, whoa, no, because I mean, everybody sucks when I made some horrible shit, but everybody sucks when they start out. And that's why you spend the time to, you know, and again, like I was saying, you get some people who put out artists too early and their first shit is horrible. If, you know, develop your sound, work with find some young cats that, you know, and grow, you know, experiment together, you know, and have fun with it. So
if you're able to do like the band thing, I think that's always a good option, because you grow off each other. But if you can't do the band thing, I think it's a good idea to, if you're going to go work in a studio, go work with, if you can find somebody who first of all is going to tell you the truth and be like, no, do 20 takes, no, that was shitty, no, I'm going to piss you off just so you have the right sounding voice, so you're mad in the fucking song, you prick, Fritz. But like go find like engineers and stuff, because they'll tell you that your timing's off, they'll tell you how to do it right, they can speak the language and they can teach you the language, you know. But then
or beat it out of you.
Yeah,
that's another option too.
If you're lucky, hockey stick picture.
You know,
there's evidence. There's fucking evidence.
The Ike Turner School of Production. No, you're gonna sing that again.
God damn it! And he actually hit me with the hockey stick, folks, while he was taking the picture. It was mid fucking. God damn it! And we don't talk about Guy LaFleur either. You've been taking care of Guy.
And
it disappeared.
Oh,
why was I hitting you with a hockey stick?
To get me to get back to recording, I think. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Look at that face.
Look at the terror.
It looks like a stone Canadian in my backyard.
He didn't even let me drop whatever's in my hand, the bong or the phone. He just fucking hit me with the
bong, phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably because you weren't raking the fucking leaves.
Yeah, you notice how he like raked just right around the table.
Yeah, just enough to make it look like he did something.
Right. Well, I'm just gonna move these out of my way for right here.
I don't want to get these leaves on my shoes.
Yeah, yeah, damn, that was a hard day's work. I'm gonna have to go take a nap now.
Yeah, well, you know, I got it done like a few leaves at a time every day.
Look into his face.
Man, he's coming with me. He's coming home with me. That's my monkey, god damn it. He's
no.
Like so this
that's a house monkey, not to be tampered with.
So Fritz has these like objects all around the studio, these like objects of like mythical grandeur.
Not mythical, they're just
it's mythical, man. The skull with the wig and the bass
skull
trolling.
with the what? Skull with the afro?
Yeah, afro, yeah.
Cool.
One day I was stoned and I said, we don't have enough wigs in the studio. And then I came back in from a smoke session and Fritz was wearing the wig.
He's a Skeletor troll.
And what he's for is you put him in front of the subwoofer and then you can see how loud the bass is.
Yeah, when his hair will be like that's how you know when shit's
all right. So Skizzle asked a question in the chat. He said, what's your favorite old school wrestler?
You know, I was always a fan of Baron von Raschke.
Right. Also
him
known.
and him when he was like teamed up with Mad Dog Vachon. It's just, I remember they did like a promo where they're supposed to be like building a coffin for somebody, and it's just like driving nails into pieces of wood. It's just, you know, you just don't have, you know, everybody's so cut and beefy and good looking now. I mean, you had some horrible looking motherfuckers that were
And
just,
they were
you
all
know,
called like handsome fucking Pete and all this shit. You know what I mean? Like it
you
don't
know,
make no sense.
where's the Mad Dog Vachons biting people, you know?
Oh shit, that's a good one.
Wasn't there a Vankowski too? Wasn't there a famous like fake Russian Vankowski as well?
No, there was a Fritz Van Erich.
That's it, Fritz Van Erich. Yes, hell yeah. No, I've watched matches with
Yeah,
him
because I mean, that whole family was just like super bad news. It's like people
the Von
dying and
Erichs. Yeah.
then killing themselves, and that's just
All right,
Nope,
so
get it.
there's another question in the chat.
uh-oh.
Who is an artist, mainstream or otherwise, that you would love to work with?
Oh, damn, that's a hard question because I don't, you know.
Well, who would you like to work with? Like you know what I mean?
Well, I don't, you know, Jelly Roll. He's
Hell
a cool
yeah.
dude, you know, because he
Yeah.
was in the studio not too long ago, and I know I did he came in to do something for Blaze. He happened to just be rolling through town, and when he's comes through town, he just comes and hangs out, you know, because he loves the guys.
Yeah, he's just a
So
real one for sure. Hell
so you know, he's a really laid back guy to work with, because it's, you know, you get some, you know, it's because I've worked with some artists that are like super talented, but they're like a super pain in the ass to deal with.
yeah.
And then, you know, you
Like
get
noise.
actually even worse than noise. So
Wow.
that's hard to believe, but that's you know, but you know, trying to find people that, you know, you work well together, you know. So
Yeah. I think I could see you doing some Jelly Roll shit though, because you do have some like off the wall like shit that would be in his lane for sure.
yeah, but I don't know, man. He's got a pretty cushy gig where he's at right now. What he's doing right now is working. So, you know.
It's pretty crazy that like the first place that like I became aware of Jelly Roll was in the underground scene, and now he's doing like Jimmy Fallon and like number two
Yeah, I
country
mean,
song
he's
in the world.
right. Yeah, I mean, and that's the cool thing is that, you know, people know him from the underground, and then, you know, to see him where he's at now, it wouldn't really make sense for him to be like, well, you know what, I really miss being poor and, you know, selling 5 albums, you know. So I think I'm going to pull a plug on that, and I'm just going to go back to the underground and change my name. I'm going to be Schizo. Yeah, Schizo, because there's not enough schizos in the underground.
So the Misfits asked a question.
Who was the best artist to work with, and who was the worst?
Well, I think clearly Twisted's the best artist to work with, because we've been able to work together for so long, and it never gets old. We always have fun. It's great. We're in Jamie's office, and Jamie and I'll just start talking about just random crazy shit and play off of each other, just coming up with the most bizarre thing we can imagine. And Jamie's daughter's in there, and she's just like, what in the fuck are you guys even talking about? And I'm like, this is what we do, you know, multiple times a day. We sit down and have brainstorming sessions, and we create beautiful things that maybe aren't beautiful in the traditional sense, but for the people who aren't all there, it's beautiful to them, you know. So,
to us, yeah, to the weirdos. Yeah.
and
So what about the second half of that question?
The worst. I mean, I've worked with some. It would depend on whether you mean worst as in actual skill wise, or worst as in
as
like,
a person.
just
let me rephrase, like,
because there were some people that when I'd see that they had booked studio sessions, it was just like that would ruin my week knowing that they're coming in because they were just
well, maybe don't name names, but tell us what detailed some of the worst sessions.
Well, the one, like I was saying, the guy, he would supposedly was a talent developer, and he'd work with these young girls and get the parents to give him all kinds of money. Oh, I'll write these songs and then I'll shop them, get them a record deal, blah, blah, blah. He had no musical skill whatsoever. It was like every single song that he supposedly wrote was like the exact same melody, every single song. And but he had like a guy who was like a super fantastic composer guy who would be able to make these backing tracks that were fantastic, but it was the same melody. And the guy couldn't really sing, but he could sell the whole idea of these people. Yeah, I'll make your daughter famous. And it was just knowing what he was doing. And what I could have done is just made his shit sound shitty, and then he just never would have booked sessions again. But then that looks bad for me because then they're like, ugh, who did that? Why does that sound terrible? So I'm kind of stuck with douchebag wanting me to do sessions with him. But but there was some we used to have a thing, the rap demo special. It was $79.20. And it got you 2 hours of studio time. And I think a pre-House of Crazies, Paul Methrick and Jamie Spinello did some of those. I think some of those are floating around there. But we used to, at the Christmas party, we'd like burn a CD of the choice ones that we had done in the last year and listen to those. Because there was some fucking doozies.
When you say choice, are these like the best ones, or are these like
no, these are the
these were the bottom of the barrel?
Well, it was like actually under the bottom of the barrel.
Fritz, you've endured some things because, like, didn't you also like judge some of the Gathering of the Juggalos, like freestyle?
Well, that was kind of like having the rap demo special for 8 hours straight. But you'd get some good people.
Yeah.
And then you'd get a lot of not so good people. And the thing is that you can kind of tell if somebody's trying to, you know, if somebody at least had the balls, that maybe the skills weren't quite there, but maybe their heart was in the right place. You can kind of tell that as compared to, there were some people I remember, because it was 3 of us judging, and Rich Morell, one guy, it was just, he couldn't even make it through like his first line, and Rich Morell like actually took his CD out of the player and broke it. He was so pissed. He's like, you can't even.
This isn't going to hurt anybody anymore.
Right, pretty much. And it was, so, you know, and it was, and there's actually some people that I still work with from that, like V Sinister. I just mastered a song for him 2 days ago that it was like, that's how I met him, was through the MC contest at the Gathering. So, and defect same way, you know, I met him through that. So it was, some people are good and some people are bad.
You got to find that hidden gem.
Right. Yeah. You know, and it was cool to be in that position where you could, you know, especially, and again, I mean, shit, that was a freaking while ago. That was 2002, 2003. So 20 years, and then to still be working with some of those people. I mean, that's cool. That's cool shit there. And then the other people that were super shitty, and then you never hear from them again. You're like, okay, well, that's cool. I'm glad that I'm glad that you were ridiculed by everybody there, and you went and decided maybe you should do something else with your life. So get it out of your system there.
I was just going to say that I won't say any names, but Fritz is such a such a fucking psychopath that he has one of those songs that's literally like induces nosebleeds, and he'll play it for
That
for
that
people.
is that right there is the gold standard for the worst thing ever.
It's this track he plays, and
And it was that was for the
Oh.
Underground Psychos, is that somebody sent that in for that. And it was so bad that I kept it, because I'm like, people are going to ask about this in the future. What was the worst thing that you've ever heard ever in the history of mankind? I wanted evidence of that. And the fact that that person sent it into a contest.
I just, all I know is
I remember I sent that link to Lex. He was at the studio. He went out to have a cigarette. I sent that to him because I knew, and he'd check it out. And he came back in and he was like, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, you reset my brain when you played that for me, man. I was like, what the fuck was that? But yeah.
Fritz probably has it on like USB drives, just so that if anybody asks, he's like, oh, say less. I got it right here.
It's actually in my Google Drive,
If your homies are whack rappers, make sure you let them know, just be like,
Was it Havoc the Vampire? No, it wasn't Havoc the Vampire. Nope. No, it was not.
Criticism is good.
Yeah, and then that's the other thing, is because there was literally talk about, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to tell that guy he won. We're going to fly him here, and then we're going to punch him in the throat so that he'll have to remain silent for all this time. And I want him to bring all his homies who heard that and supported him and like, yeah, you know what, bro, you should send that in. That's got what it takes. Whoever told him that needs to be beaten with a golf club.
If your homies do music and they suck, keep it real. Let them know.
Yeah, because I mean, be like, you don't want to, necessarily just completely crush their spirit, but be like, well,
the beat was good, but the rhyming was dog shit, Be
yeah,
like that,
but the part when you opened up your mouth and said something, that was, if that was somebody else that was doing that part,
it would have been great.
It would have been great, but because it was you.
Listen, UndergroundAholics,
thumbs down,
let
bro.
You know,
yeah. Yeah, it's like, that warm hug where you're like, yeah, bro, that sucked ass, I'm
gonna give you
what else you got?
I'm gonna whisper in your ear, that was dog shit.
Yeah, respectively, that sucked.
Yeah, I mean, that's in the best possible way, but that really turned my stomach, and I feel bad for anybody that has to listen.
But yet you play it for people. You're like, here, listen to this.
Oh, because again, it is the worst thing I have ever heard. That was intent. The person didn't do it as a joke. It was just so. It's terrible.
On purpose bad, yeah. But I think it goes back to Fritz. You like to tear your artists to shreds too, so that's part of the reason why he played that for me. He was like, let me destroy your fucking brain right quick before we get started on this next session,
There's another question in the chat.
What would you consider the best song that you've produced so far?
That's a tough question, because there's some. And it's not like they're like, well, and everything that I make is the dopest shit out there.
Can you narrow it down to like a handful of them?
Well, I mean, there's some Blaze shit that I'm, that I'm particular to. Of course, there's a bunch of Twisted shit that I'm particular to too. Like, I mean, I think in general, and it isn't even really, it's familiar off of
Mutant. No, is it? Yeah, Mutant.
Yeah, it's Mutant, because that's an actual, we had to put it together like an actual rock song. So
that's hollow. I was hollow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I mean that's and again, because that was something, we were doing something different. So that was fun to dabble on into that.
That's a great track. That's a good anxiety track for me. Anytime I'm feeling really anxietied out, I'll put that shit on and be like, "Nah, you got this. The universe is behind you." You know.
But yeah, but I mean the cool one is to like go to a show, and when they're doing Juggalo Family, that's the coolest to see how that affects people, because that's like, hey,
Yeah, yeah,
Hey,
like
that's me. I'm playing that part.
that was dope as fuck at God damn it, which one was it?
you're so high you can't remember.
Fright Fest.
Fest.
Fright Fest. That was sick. It was you're standing like next to me and that shit's playing, and I'm like a grown man. I'm like, oh my god, Jug, I'm jugging so hard right now. It was dope. Yeah, man. Because you originally did most of the guitar on that one, didn't you?
I did all the guitar on it originally, but then once that went over to the Lotus Pod, Mike P stripped everything and basically replayed all the parts, but then left the actual melody. And I don't know if Joe, if he tried to redo that part and it just didn't sound right, because I know that that's like a Joe thing too. Because when we did Truly Alone, Joe recorded the vocals to that when they were out on tour and made like a rough demo of it. And when we tried to like polish it up, it just didn't sound right. So we had to go back to where it was all rough and rugged, and because when you try to beef it up, it just didn't sound right. So sometimes it just needs to be off and wrong and gritty. And
be dope to hear that original version of that Lotus there.
I've got it because we had to grab it for something. So
well, damn, man. Maybe we'll leak it sometime.
No, I did not. I was not around for that album. So
you weren't a part of Heartbreak and Homicidal?
No, I was not. There was a little stretch there where I was they were doing their thing, I was doing my thing, and then George did his thing, and now we're doing our thing.
And now the trifecta's come back together and you guys are murdering shit.
We're trying to. We're trying hard, man.
Dude.
But
I mean,
it ain't easy.
I don't know what the hell you're doing working with that Canadian. That's the only thing you should fucking fear away from, you know? But
you're right, because really, let's see here. Noise 13, right click.
Don't delete my shit. Don't do it.
It says here there's shred using AVG. I think that makes it so that it'll never come back.
No, don't do that. Fritz.
Look, Noise is like, I'm just playing.
I quit smoking, Fritz.
Oh shit.
And that is a lie.
That is a blatant fucking lie. Yeah. Nah, man. Me and Fritz got some shit coming out. I do believe we're gonna have it coming out in June, dropping. So that's dope. Man, you're a mad scientist. You're one of the like founders of the fucking wicked shit like sound, man. Definitely one of the like pillars of producers in the underground scene. We really appreciate you coming on today, man. Thank you for coming on and just dropping all sorts
well, thanks
of
for
knowledge.
having me here. I love coming and kicking it.
Man, it's been like a time and a half. We've kept you longer than we usually keep people, actually. Is there any shout outs you want to give to anybody? Is there any news bits you want to drop before we kick you off here? And I will
see the unfortunate part is a lot of the shit that I work on, I got to kind of wait until it's ready to be,
fair enough. Yeah.
Put out there, but I'll be, tids and bits here's and there. So I got some other shit of mine that I'm kind of tinkering with that might come out as singles or something. So I'll just have to wait and see what's happening. So yeah. But as always, shout out to my boy George. He's instrumental in getting us back together and steering the ship as it is so far. So
Yeah, he's
he's
doing
a good
great
dude.
job.
Yeah, he's a great dude. So
Astro this year is looking out of this fucking world. I mean, so many great like events that get put on by Emily, and he hooked me and you up together to work together. So shout out to George for that.
yeah, well, that is the one thing I gotta kind of mention to him.
Yeah, man. Well, we usually ask one other question, and it's just: is there anybody you see coming up in the underground? Any peoples that you've been noticing coming up that you're taking note of, and you've seen their shit coming out, and you're like, oh, that motherfucker's on the rise.
If I did, I would keep that to myself. That's insider information.
Okay.
You don't
All
spill
right.
the beans on that. You observe from a distance, and you put that, you jot that down in my little notebook. And a little list of things here. So
Yeah, his loose pieces of paper all over the studio.
Some of those have my words on them, I think.
yeah, like the one that says "I love Drake."
I know it doesn't.
It does. You
it
had
says "fuck Drake." It says. I'm pretty sure it says "fuck Drake." Is there anybody got any more questions, Aaron? If you do get them in now, we got 10 minutes left in the interview.
Yeah.
You like to change from twisted rap to rock. Well, we've done we did rap. We kind of did rock rap first and then rap, and then got back to doing like rock, and then back to doing rap. Now they're doing, because like the rock stuff that Twisted's doing now doesn't really involve me, because the way that the rock world works is you got to use the rock people for that. So that's why they're using Rob Zombie's dude. And you because you gotta, it's a lot more stringent, but they always come to me for your songs of Sam Hain and all the underground shit that they still, I mean, they still love it. That's why they still do it. So
like Glyph, like you were
Glyph, yeah, that's the one. That one was for Black Friday, but then it's coming out online sometime. It's coming out online like super soon here. So
oh, okay, that's dope. That might be
yeah,
news, but I don't know.
yeah.
Hell yeah, man. No, I mean, you got all the classics. You're gonna be around forever and a half. I mean, like man, you've just been killing shit forever, man. And we just thank you for everything, Fritz.
Hey, man.
Go check out his BeatStars. Go check out all
Yeah.
his social medias. If you want to work with him, just send him a fucking message, people.
Yeah.
He's not that
Yeah,
hard.
me. Yeah.
Reach out,
I'll wait a while before I crush your spirit, like the
Yeah.
Canadian.
Yeah, he didn't wait a while for me. I showed up and he was just like, "Fuck you!" like right away. But I got to work right away too, so maybe
that
that's
was
why.
a terrible mistake. Terrible.
And now we can never stop.
And he won't shut up.
Yeah, next time we go to Michigan, I'm bringing a brisket.
Hell yeah.
That's what everybody says.
Okay, watch. I will show up at your house before the concert so we can get it started.
Yeah, you better actually, because I want to eat that night. Hell yeah. Well, let's go out on Fritz's fucking music in the background. UndergroundAholics, I'm Noise. I'm an UndergroundAholic. Y'all have a good week. Moose.
My name's Aaron. I'm an UndergroundAholic. And that's Fritz.
I'm Fritz.
He's Rap Dad. All right, let's smoke some stuff, Aaron.
Go smoke your weeds.
We'll be on the Instagram Live.